Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Timeless Oracle reading. Our Oracle card for today belongs to the Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle by Kelly T. Smith. The card for today is entitled Inner Child. You are currently healing old emotional wounds. So, part of life's experience are encountering not only positive things, but some things that you might say are not quite positive. But oftentimes, these things are blessings in disguise. They can be all also arrows pointing to a certain direction. Many things happen in our life for a specific reason. For example, a painful experience in a certain situation can teach us to be compassionate to others who are also going to undergo the same journey in the future. So sometimes what happens is one painful experience teaches us a certain wisdom about life. And later on, when somebody undergo the same things, the universe will bring them to they will bring them to us, and somehow just a simple advice coming from us because of the experience that we've gathered in such a situation, somehow it helps others also journey through the same experience much better. So in a certain sense, painful experiences can be sources of wisdom. They can also be sources of strength. Because of the usual painful trials we undergo in life, they also make us stronger person. They also are lessons in life. They make us wiser. They teach us how to avoid it in the future, or how to make our response better to such situations. Oftentimes, when we encounter painful situation, the normal or the usual response will be to push them down into our subconscious mind, not to give them attention because they are painful situations. And so what happens is they gather into our subconscious mind, and sooner or later they become part of our shadow. The shadow is that part of ourselves that we push into the subconscious mind, and oftentimes we do not give attention to because sometimes they are shameful or sometimes they are painful experiences. But sooner or later, these things that we push to the subconscious mind will come up to the surface, especially when you are or when we are already in the process of maturing, in the process of transforming to be a better person. So what happens is part of our transformation process is the resurfacing of painful wounds in the past, and they would like to get our consideration and attention. And when that happens, especially in that moment of transformation, when they resurface, we need to give it attention. And oftentimes that is the challenge. When we give attention to our past wounds, the best thing for us so that it will lead to healing is to recognize first that yes, you have been part of my life experience. I accept that you have been part of my life experience, even if you have been very painful. And I know that you as an experience have made me for who I am at this present time. So one of the things that when we go to the healing of our inner self, the healing of our inner child, we need first to recognize that it has been part of our life. We cannot deny it. There are certain experiences in life, painful as they are, they have happened already in our life, and we need to recognize them. And then we need to dialogue with this part of ourselves and saying, if only I could change, I would have changed it, but I cannot change it anymore. You are already part of my life history, and I accept you for what you are. Now we can ask that part of our life history, is there a lesson that I can learn from you? Is there something positive that I can take with me because of the experience I've had with you? When we do that, we can already gather what seemed to be negative slowly becomes positive. What seems to be something negative becomes a blessing in disguise. A stumbling stone becomes a stepping stone. So what happens is, after we recognize that it is part of our life, we ask, what are the lessons or what are the messages you would like to tell me that I can take with me as I face my present moment and the future or the time that is to come. So we gather also the lessons we've learned, and from these lessons, we take it with us as we move forward. Now, this time, because we have accepted it as part of our life history, it no longer becomes something to be ashamed of. It becomes something that we embrace as part of us, because whether it is painful or not, they have contributed to what or who we are at this present time. So at this moment that you have encountered this card, maybe for some of you, you are undergoing transformation at this moment. And maybe if there is something that constantly comes into your dream, or a memory suddenly comes into your consciousness, maybe it is time for you, especially if that memory causes you discomfort or anxiety, maybe it's time for us to sit down and try to give attention to that and accept them, wholeheartedly accept them. You are already part of me. I cannot change you anymore, but I can take the lessons I have learned from you and I resolve to move forward. And so when we move forward, we walk hand in hand with this wounded part of us as we move forward to the more promising future, living the present moment together with the wisdom we've learned from that painful experience. Now, let's try to read from the handbook that accompanies this card so that maybe we can gain more insights regarding inner child. This is a time of healing old emotional wounds, a time to rewrite your personal story. This card suggests that you are healing your inner child. Your guides and angels are asking you to look at your past in a new way. If you grew up in a household that did not practice and teach unconditional love, you may be left with the emotional scar that caused you to ask, what did I do to deserve this? You may feel like you were abandoned, neglected, or mistreated in a way that left you feeling undeserving of love. Instead of reliving the painful past, you are being asked to heal these wounds and rewrite your story. It is time to reconnect with your inner child. Go within and imagine what you looked like at your young age. Talk to yourself at this age. Assure your inner child that he or she does matter, that he or she is worthy of love, and that it is time to heal the past. Ask yourself what you need to finally be at peace with this. As you nurture your inner child, it will free you up to forgive those in the past who have caused you pain. Begin to rewrite your story by looking at all of the ways you have thrived in life, despite the challenges you have faced. As you heal your inner child, you pave the way for new beginnings. Intuitive life coaching questions. What does your inner child need from you to feel safe? How can you nurture and support your inner child? How can you be the responsible, trustworthy adult that your inner child never had? So, the inspiration for us with this oracle card is to give attention to our inner child, especially when our inner child is bringing us past hurts constantly. Maybe it's time for us to take a pause and listen and maybe give attention to this part, and with that attention, hopefully, we can move forward towards healing. So, thank you for the likes and comments you've given to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. I hope to see you again soon. Until that time, may God continue to bless your ways.